buy this house that looks like it belongs in the next Resident Evil game? House prices are absurd, so you're stuck wasting your money renting forever. Inflation and gas prices are so high you might as well not own a car. With all the subscription services, you don't even own the media you consume. Imagine slaving your life away, 40 hours a week at a shitty desk job, half those hours going to taxes, the other half to rent, and at the end of the day, you have nothing that you own to show for it? But it's okay because the propaganda says it's a good thing for us. Am I the only one that's bothered by this? Am I the only one that when I spend money on something, I actually want to physically own it without having the possibility of it being taken away for no fault of my own? In terms of not physically owning media, it seems to have started with movies, which makes sense. Most people don't really watch too many movies over and over again, and don't really need the movie for more than the first watch. So it makes sense that people would be okay with not having to buy the movie and instead just pay a subscription service to view a digital copy of it. Owning digital versions also became huge with music, even though music is different from movies in that most people will listen to a song for a long time. People still listen to songs from the Beatles all the time. But the thing is, digital ownership is not ownership. When I first started buying music on iTunes, it was with an account with Verizon.net. I spent hundreds of dollars through the years buying different albums, and then one day I had to get a new iPhone. But there was an issue. I couldn't sign into my Verizon.net account anymore because it turns out Verizon.net was gone. It no longer existed. After hours with customer service, I ended up having to make a new iCloud account and lost all the music I had quote-unquote owned on the previous account. All the money I had spent on legitimate albums and all the files from LimeWire I had risked the family computer for were gone. Even if I saved the old files onto my computer and tried to put them onto my new phone, Apple doesn't let you. So imagine you have Spotify or Apple Music, and your favorite artist gets kicked off of the platform due to a homophobic comment they posted when they were a kid in 2007. Bang! All that music is no longer accessible to you, and you have to spend more money to actually own what you want. Okay, but how is this relevant? Well, let's get to the actual important things in life. Video games. Buying digital copies over physical discs has become more and more popular. The most recent generation has versions of consoles without disc drives. I like having the physical copy of the game and the disc drive version of the console, not only because the box art and storage advantages, but because you're actually physically owning something. Video games, much like music, are a form of media you can keep going back to over and over again. I'll boot up Donkey Kong Country on my Super Nintendo still every once in a while. I still play Star Fox on my Nintendo 64 frequently. I'm currently playing through Eternal Darkness on my GameCube. Yeah, but why not just own a digital copy? You can still go back and play it. Well, let's look at Assassin's Creed Liberation HD and Silent Hunter 5. Steam put out a warning that if you owned these games on Steam, you'd not be able to access them come September. You would not be able to play these single-player offline games even if you had spent the money to buy them. Digital ownership is not ownership. While Ubisoft walked back the decision this time, I'll not be surprised to see if they do more of this in the future. Imagine when Ubisoft, in 5 years, wants to release a remastered Assassin's Creed bundle of all the old Assassin's Creed games, and leading up to launch, they decided to deny access to all old Assassin's Creed digital versions in an effort to boost sales for their new bundle. Imagine when Nintendo, in 10 years, decides it's time to release another Super Mario 3D All-Stars, and right when they announce that, they say, oh yeah, the original 3D All-Stars download that you have on your Switch, yeah, you can't play that anymore. You have to buy the new 3D All-Stars. Yeah, downloading a digital version of something might be nice to avoid a trip to your local GameStop, but I would much rather actually own what I'm paying $70 for and not have to worry down the line about the increasingly greedy acts by these publishing companies.
Bye-bye.